right, my friends, welcome back. This is going to be part 93 of my presentation on the flood in Noah's Ark. And guys, we're going to start getting into the days of Noah. I'm not really sure how many videos this is going to entail, but there's so many different little aspects about it, intricacies about it, that we're going to kind of take our time through it. And I'll give you the best insight that I can into what's in this. If you want to read the whole historical narrative of the flood, you can go to just go to Genesis chapter 6 through Genesis chapter 9, verse 17, and that gives you the whole thing. I am not going to be going through verse for verse through the entire thing. I'm just going to be taking aspects about this, and we're just talking about the flood and Noah's Ark as a whole in this presentation. And it goes into all types of topics, as you've already seen. I mean, my goodness, we're on the 93rd video in this whole presentation. But when we're talking about the days of Noah, we have it in Genesis 6, what was going on. We're going to talk about that. But we can also see in the New Testament, Jesus refers back to Noah. So we know it's a historical account, because Jesus said, yes, that really did happen. That really did happen. The flood happened. And so we're going to go through that, and we're going to see what Jesus had to say about it. And then we're going to go through and we're going to read about 13 verses in Genesis chapter 6. And then if we have time, I may go a little bit further, but we'll see where we're at, and we'll just pick it up next time. And so just to keep the video as bite-sized as possible. But if you'll notice on the screen here, going to Matthew chapter 24, verses 37 to 39, it says here, and this is Jesus talking, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." So he's contrasting, connecting what it was like in the days of Noah, those days there, and what it's going to be like when he comes back. So he's given us some signs of what to look for. "For as in the days of Noah were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Now he's interpreting what he just told you in the first verse there. But as the days of Noah were, what is verse 37, he's telling you, he's interpreting what the days of Noah were like. And you might say, well, what's so bad about eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage? What's so bad about that? What's so sinful about that? I'm not done yet. We're going to go through that. Luke chapter 17, 26 to 30. "And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all." Now he's going to go to the days of Lot. His days of Lot. "Likewise, also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed." Now, guys, what he's referring to here, he's talking about the second coming. He's talking about the second coming when he comes back, physically comes back. He's not talking about the rapture in these verses here, though I think people will still have the same mindset during the rapture. And there's really two schools of thought when it comes to the rapture. You got pre-trib, which is the pre-tribulation rapture, before the tribulation period starts. God is going to jerk the church out of here. And then there's those that think the church will be here in the middle of the tribulation period, after the first 3.5 years. Then he takes the church out then. Then there are those that believe there's not going to be a rapture at all. And so I'm not going to go into all that. That's not what we're talking about here. But what he's saying here in all these verses is that people are going to go along with their daily lives and they're not going to have any want or knowledge or anything about the Lord, the coming of the Lord, judgment. They're not going to want to have anything to do with it. It's just people will go along with their everyday lives. That's what he's saying here. There's nothing sinful about any of the stuff he's talking about. They're just not going to have, they're just going to be going along. It's going to be daily life as usual, and they are not going to know that the Lord's coming until boom, he's came. And so, just like he said, he's going to come like a thief in the night. The thief in the night. People, you don't know when a thief comes in the middle of the night. But a thief don't call you up on the phone and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be there at 1:30 in the morning, just want to let you know. No, a thief just shows up. The thief just shows up. He's saying that people are not going to have any idea that judgment is coming until it's there. Just like these people here. And I'm sure that those people knew that Noah had something going on. There's something going on, because when you're building a massive ship that's 450 feet long, somebody is going to look at that thing and go, hey man, what's going on? And I'm sure Noah probably had a podium right near that ark and just got up on it and started having himself a good witness session. There is no doubt about it. He took it upon himself, because it says that he was a preacher of righteousness. So I'm sure he had himself a podium there, and I'm sure that groups of people were walking around and gathering up and probably having picnics to watch. Hey, let's go watch old crazy Noah. And so he took it upon himself to have a good an opportunity to preach to these people, and so to witness to them about the coming judgment. And they laughed and shoved, and you could easily see that, because only 8 people. It was only Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. That was it. 8 people is all that were saved. Everybody else drowned. They died in the flood. And so now, and it's really, guys, it shouldn't be really anything of a surprise to us, because it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish. Notice that. Perish. It's foolishness. It's foolishness to them. And it really does not take much when you talk to people that don't believe the Bible and are atheists, evolutionists. They will mock us, and they will mock our God, and they will mock that cross. They will. They make fun of it because they're going to perish. But to us, which are saved, it is the power of God. It makes my skin crawl to think how somebody could mock our Lord. But you know what? It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living God. And so they are going to regret. Then they will have memories of that for eternity, guys. For eternity, they'll have memories of how they mocked and wish that they could have another chance. Now, what we're going to do is I am going to read the 13 verses, and then we'll stop, and then we'll come back, and then we'll start going through this and try to figure out what's going on and what he's talking about. Now, it says here in Genesis chapter 6, verse 1, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Going on. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And we're going to stop right there. And so I had thought about taking this further, but it's going to make this video way longer than I want to. And guys, I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to try to keep these as bite-sized as possible, so I can give as much time to going through these verses next time we get together. And so, but it's just a fascinating story, guys. It's a fascinating story. It's history. It's history. It actually really did happen. And even though, and what's really wild is that when we were going through these verses here, it doesn't say anything about their daily lives. Were they marrying, giving in marriage, stuff like that? That we got more insight with Jesus. Jesus is telling them what their daily lives were like. And so here it's talking about the violence. It's talking about the violence. It's talking about the sons of God, whoever they were. And we're going to talk about the 2 interpretations on who it's believed that these people were, or who these beings were. And so we're going to talk about that. And but it's talking about the violence, and the thoughts of their imaginations. We're going to talk about that. And so, but Jesus has gone a step further, and he's giving you insight into the daily activities. So they were giving marriage. It was a daily activities were going on. And so these people were going about their daily activities, and they didn't even know it. And that that judgment was impending judgment and doom was coming, and that these people perished. These people perished in the flood. They didn't even know judgment was happening until it was there. Just like with Lot. Now, Lot, it did say that Lot tried to talk to some of their people, and that he was mocked. They made fun of him. And so when he left, they all perished. And the angels were saying, we can't do anything to this city until you are gone. You got to get out of here. And so that's our orders. And so, and I think we need to take note of that, guys, is that God will take care of his own. God will take care of his own. And that gives me hope, and that gives me assurance that our Lord, despite what's going on in our day and time, at the time of this recording of this video, we got riots and all types of stuff that's going on. Let me tell you what, guys, there's a plan and a judgment that's coming for this old world. But God knows his own, and he will take care of us. He will take care of us. And so no matter what the world may say, no matter how the world may mock at us, he will take care of us. And that I can assure you. And so, but you guys take care. I love you. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.